Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Anubis the Gamer Archer here with a brand new video for you guys today. Welcome to the channel. Hope you all feeling good, smelling good. Hope you all having a good weekend. Finally, we're going to do that review, sort of, kind of Power Rangers Battle of the Grid that I kept mentioning I was going to do, but kept pushing back to because there's other topics coming up that I want to talk about. But today, we're going to finally get into the Shadow Grid, Battle for the Grid, or Battle of the Grid. I forgot what the actual title is, but do understand when it comes to me, my opinion on this video. I'm not someone who plays fighting games on a consistent basis. I'll tell you that right now. So my opinion is kind of skewed more so as someone who's a casual fighting game player. I've played all the Mortal Kombat games, played all the Dragon Ball Z games, played most of the Street Fighter games, and I play fighting games, but I won't consider myself a hardcore fighting game player. I play them casually, more so to beat the story modes, and I'll go against friends. So like mention that just so people understand where I'm coming from. You know, when it comes to Power Rangers, I stopped watching it like after SPD, so anything more recent than that wouldn't know too much about. But on previous video I have Power Rangers. Once you guys check that out, this is a video from Where Is, one of my top series on YouTube, where I talk about games that deserve prequels, sequels, or in general, as well, just deserve more games or better games and things of that nature. So in that video we talked about why where is more Power Ranger games, because I do feel like there should be more Power Ranger games, but there's not. So in this video I just want to talk about Battle of the Grid. Honestly, when it comes down to this game, I don't even think it's that good. I think visually it's okay. It has like a very basic low budget 2D fighting style visual effect towards it. It obviously draws inspiration from games like Street Fighter and Dragon Ball FighterZ, but it's nowhere near those games in production value. Obviously when it comes to this game, like I said before, this doesn't seem like a game that got a lot of money put into it. Like it's obvious that it's low budget. When it comes to this video, shouldn't be too long, so I'm gonna point that out. It's probably like a quick review. Here's my issue with this game. I feel like this game, it wanted to be a fighting game, but it didn't know what kind of fighting game it wanted to be. Like there's a moment of the game, like especially at the beginning, where you go against the Black Rangers, like little, basically like another dimension's clones of the Black Ranger, and he has a sniper rifle, and like the game is programmed to basically just have this character just spam you with a gun, and it's like, isn't this a fighting game? Shouldn't this person be trying to actually freaking fight? Like, shouldn't the computer be programmed to actually try to fight you? No, he just tries his best to distance himself from you, the player, and just keep shooting at you. Like, all right, apparently we're playing an FPS game, because there's no fighting happening in any of these fights against this Mastodon soldier character. And speaking of this Mastodon soldier character, you fight this person too many times. Like, I feel like most of the game's first two acts, I actually quit playing after Act 2, because I was doing a live stream too. I was like, during live streams, like, if I had to fight the Mastodon soldier one more again, I'm done. And like, we had just finished fighting somebody else, like finally fighting a different character, and we had to fight the Mastodon again. I turned the game off, because I don't want to fight the same person over and over again. Like, I spent like 3 hours like some brief breaks to fight other characters, just fighting against freaking the Mastodon soldier, if that's even his name. I don't remember what the character's name is, and it's like, that's so shit. Like, who designed that? Like, who in the directing room for the game was like, we should have the player fight the same freaking person who's irrelevant multiple times in the game? Like, really? There's so many villains in Power Rangers, so many characters in Power Rangers that you could have had in place, but you just kept having the player fight this Mastodon copycat over and over and over again. It's shit. The story itself is shit. And I don't understand like why they even bothered like hiring like Austin St. John to do voice acting for the Red Ranger, and they got just Jason Frank the voice act as a White Ranger, Green Ranger, and Draken. And it's like, why? Because they only like do voices for like certain scenes, but most of the game's dialogue for the campaign, it's just written text, and you the player had to read it. So like, why did you spend the money to get voice actors but not have them actually read out the lines for the campaign? Like, they do like the character in game dialogue, so like when you're fighting and things like that, or the little intro conversations and things like that, but like the actual campaign story, you have to read the text. There is no actors who are playing out or voice acting the text, even though they pay voice actors. I hate that. I think it's dumb and it's weird. Like, what's the point? You know, what's the point even bothering to voice actors? I care more about them being able to speak in campaign than I do about them be speaking in the middle of a match just to like do a taunt or whatever. And like when it comes to the controls for the game, the controls are all over the place. I don't think this game was put into the hands of anyone who actually plays fighting games. Like if you play Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or Tekken or Fighter Z or Killer Instinct, you'll play this game and be like, these controls are all over the place. And I don't think he who made this game even cared to see how a good fighting game is created or a good fighting game is played or how a good fighting game flows. Like I just don't get what went wrong with this game. And when it comes and the thing is, it has redeeming qualities. Like there are characters in the game who are pretty cool. There's characters in the game who do have like good combos and good fighting mechanics, not mechanics, but like the way they fight and their abilities are pretty cool to look at. And even from like a visual standpoint, the game does have good visuals. It does look nice for being a low budget fighting game. And you can tell that they do kind of copy a lot of like Draken does, like the Hadouken move. Like there's some definite things in the game, and I do kind of get more of a Killer Instinct vibe than like a Killer Instinct Street Fighter vibe, more so than anything else. But basically, if you know the meme, if you ask your mom, hey mom, can we get this, and she's like, we have that at home. So like if you want a Killer Instinct or you want a Street Fighter, this Pirates game is that, but at home. It's like the low budget, great value brand fighting game. It's cookie cutter, it's bare bones, it's nothing special, it's nothing unique. If you're desperate for a Pirates game, you'll play it and you'll enjoy it. But outside of that, this is one of the worst games I've played this year. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you, and again, I'm not someone who plays fighting games religiously, but I do play enough to love and respect the genre. I do sometimes watch Evo when the tournaments are coming around. Like I said, I play Fighter Z, play all the Mortal Kombat games, and play Street Fighter and Tekken and things like that. So, just from a casual standpoint, though, this game just sucks. Like, if it wasn't Power Rangers, I probably never would have touched it. Like the characters are what sells this game. The characters are what made me want to play the game to begin with. Being someone who didn't really read the comic books when it comes to the character Draken and things like that, I was intrigued by it just to experience that character and what kind of story was going to be told here. But for the most part, there's other than the visuals and they do have August St. John, David Frank. Who cares about this game? Like, it's just not a good game, and if I gave it a score, probably a 3. Like, if I'm being honest with you, I'll probably give this game a 3. And that 3 is just the visuals and the voice actors who they do have, just being their presence is nice enough. But other than that, just the overall visuals of the game is probably the only redeeming quality, because the gameplay sucks, story sucks. There's not that many like characters in the game. Like, there's probably like some DLC characters, but we're at a point where if you can't put like a base for like the base game have a good roster of characters, who fucking cares about your game? Your base game should have a good roster of characters. And when you have the Power Rangers license, who has like what 30 years of freaking of characters from 1982 to 2022, you have all these characters from all those seasons of Power Rangers that you could have like put into the game for base characters, and then you could have like some DLC stuff like the comic book characters or some movie characters, movie outfits and things like that. And it's like, the game just sucks. Reason why I was like delaying this review, I don't like doing like overly negative reviews. It's not my thing. But at the same time, it's my opinion, and though I love Power Rangers, I'm not biased. I'm not going to treat this game special, and it's unfortunate. Sometimes you play a game hoping that you want to enjoy yourself, and then the outcome is that it doesn't deliver. Sometimes things just don't deliver. And again, it's all opinions. It's all subjective. Some people out there who might love the game. Good for you. But for me, I just think this game sucks. I think no one should play it. Like, I do want more Power Rangers games, but I want good Power Rangers games. This isn't it. I wouldn't recommend any of my friends to play it. None. I wouldn't recommend anyone who plays fighting games to play it. There's better fighting games for you to go experience and waste your time in. Go play Mortal Kombat. Go play Fighter Z. You know, go play Street Fighter the Tekken. You know, if you want to experiment with like lesser known fighting games, then go play those too. You know, I'm sure there's some indie fighting games out there that might be great. But this game, don't bother. With all that said, it's this video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Y'all be safe. Be on something. Boy Nubis. I'm out of here. Deuces.